I want to tell you something that took me 3 years to admit to myself. Success is not what they tell you, it is. I don't mean that in the motivational poster way. I mean it in the specific, practical, 2 a.m. sitting alone in an apartment you worked 5 years to afford way. I mean it in the way that hurts. My name is Sophia. I am 27 years old. I have a career that looks, from the outside, like exactly what a woman is supposed to want. The title, the salary, the apartment in the right neighborhood, the LinkedIn profile that gets messages from strangers telling me I'm inspiring. Inspiring. I read that word, and I think about my mom's face the last time I saw her, about the way she hugged me, about the drive back to my apartment afterward, alone, in silence, with the specific hollow feeling that has become so familiar, I've stopped noticing it. I think about Jake. I think about the last conversation we had, sitting in a coffee shop neither of us wanted to be in. I think about the version of my life that exists in the background of the one I'm actually living, the one where I made different choices. That version of my life doesn't exist. I built this one instead. And I am sitting in the middle of everything I built and telling you, it is not enough. I need to explain where the hunger came from, because it didn't appear from nowhere. Ambition like mine never does. I grew up watching my parents work jobs that paid the bills and nothing else. My dad left for work before I was awake. He sat in front of the television and was, not unhappy exactly, but diminished, like someone had slowly turned down his volume over the years. My mom was warmer, but equally tired. She had given up a design degree to raise us, and she never said she regretted it. But sometimes I'd catch her looking at something beautiful, a building or a fabric, and there was something in her eyes I understand completely now. Grief. Small, quiet, permanent grief for the path not taken. I decided at 16 that would never be me. I was going to want something specific, and I was going to get it, and I was not going to look at anything with that grief. Ambition is not the villain of this story. The hunger was real and legitimate, and it took me places I am genuinely proud of. But hunger, I have learned, is not a compass. It tells you to move forward. It does not tell you what you're leaving behind. I met Jake at 22, last year of college. He was studying architecture, and he was genuinely, uncomplicatedly interested in everything. We fit together immediately in that particular way that feels, when you're 22, like proof of something, like the universe confirming a decision. For the first year, it was easy. We talked about the future expansively, with the assumption that whatever it looked like, we'd build it together. Then I got the job offer. It was everything I'd been working toward, a role at a firm I had been targeting since my second year. It was also in a different city, 4 hours away. Jake had just accepted a position at a local firm. Good work he was excited about. We tried long distance for 8 months. I want to be honest because the honest version matters. I was not a good long distance partner. I was completely consumed by the new job. Every weekend I didn't come home. I told myself it was temporary, that I was establishing myself. Jake was patient for 8 months. Then he sat across from me in that coffee shop and said, quietly, without anger, "Sophia, I don't think you're choosing between me and the job. I think you already chose. I just think you haven't admitted it yet." I didn't argue. I think I already knew he was right. We hugged outside the coffee shop. He walked one way. I walked the other. I cried in my car for 40 minutes. Then I drove back, answered 3 emails, and went to bed. That is who I was at 23. The thing about losing Jake was not just losing Jake. It was losing the witness. When you are with someone who knows you completely, you have a witness to your own life. Someone who can say, "I remember who you were before you became who you are now." Jake was that for me. And when he walked away, I didn't just lose a relationship. I lost the person who was watching. I became someone achieving things with no one who remembered where I started. That loss took me 2 years to name. I'm naming it now. The months after the breakup, I threw myself into work. I believed the work would fill the space. That achievement was a currency for meaning. I was wrong, but I didn't know that yet. So I worked, and the apartment got nicer, and the title got longer, and the hollow feeling got quieter. Not because it went away, but because I got better at not listening to it, until I couldn't not listen anymore. That's where part 1 ends. The hunger started it. Jake leaving clarified it. I want to tell you something that took me 3 years to admit to myself. Success is not what they tell you it is. I mean it in the specific, practical 2 a.m. sitting alone in an apartment you worked 5 years to afford way. I mean it in the way that hurts. My name is Sophia. I am 27 years old. I have a career that looks, from the outside, like exactly what a young woman is supposed to want. I think about my mom's face, the way she hugged me at the door. Too long, too tight, when she doesn't know when she'll see me next. I think about Jake. The last conversation we had, sitting in a coffee shop neither of us wanted to be in. Both of us too exhausted. I built this life instead, and I am sitting in the middle of everything I built and telling you, it is not enough. I grew up watching my parents work jobs that paid the bills and nothing else. My dad was just a quieter version of himself. My mom had a design degree she gave up. Sometimes I'd catch her looking at something beautiful with a quiet, permanent grief in her eyes. I met Jake at 22. He was studying architecture. He was genuinely, uncomplicatedly interested in everything. We fit together immediately. Then I got the job offer. It was everything I'd been working toward, but it was in a different city, 4 hours away. Jake was patient for 8 months. Then he said, "Sophia, I don't think you're choosing between me and the job. I think you already chose." I cried in my car for 40 minutes. Then I drove back, answered 3 emails, and went to bed. That was who I was. Jake was the witness to my life. When he walked away, I lost the person who remembered who I was before I became this. Nobody decides to become a stranger to their parents. It happens one small, reasonable decision at a time. My brother got married when I was 25. I flew in and out. I missed the family breakfast the next morning. I told myself I'd make it up. I moved into the apartment I have now. Success, high ceilings, good light. I stood there with a bottle of wine and no one to open it with. My mom sent a message. "Just calling to hear your voice. No reason. Love you." I realized I hadn't called her for no reason in years. Success is a perpetual forward motion. If you aren't intentional, it will consume every hour you give it and ask for more. I drove home to my parents last weekend. No occasion. My mom opened the door and pulled me into one of those 2 long hugs. I stood in the kitchen, drank bad coffee, and listened to my dad's jokes. It was the best evening I have had in 3 years. Look at the people standing at the edges of your ambition. Call them. The ordinary Tuesday dinner is not a break. It is your real life.